0 to your first 100,000 in the medical transportation industry. It's not as difficult as a lot of people make it seem. It can be if you don't have a real plan to put into motion, but it's not really that difficult. If you're doing private pay, it's a bit more of a challenge. But once you get your first hospital contract or your first rehab center contract, it usually speeds up after that. Your first rehab center contract should pay you at a minimum about maybe $5,000 a month. It's about $1,200 a week worth of trips. You should be doing both wheelchair and stretcher transportation. You can clean up with rehab center discharges regardless of what city you're in. You find the area, start providing services, stay on time, be consistent, stay in communication with the right individuals at that particular facility, get in front of the right nurses, the right directors. They should send you consistent clients on a regular basis. So it's not that big of a deal to get it done. It can be a challenge though, because a lot of you guys don't make it to getting in front of people. You prefer to do Medicaid, where you're not actually having to make presentations and talk to individuals. A lot of you are introverts, and that's unfortunate, because that's where the money's at. But if you find yourself at these rehab centers while you're providing services with your Medicaid clients, makes it a lot easier. I mean, a lot easier. This is what you should do. And I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it out there. This is the same thing I tell people in a session. Make it simple. You're already at the rehab center picking up a Medicaid client. Stretch out your day so you're able to go inside of the rehab facility and actually talk with people, not just drop the client off and run back to your vehicle because you got another pickup. I like Thursdays. Fridays are cool, but a lot of times people take Fridays off, so you may not be in front of the right person on a Friday to make sure you're talking with decision makers. You want to talk with a director, social services, nurse practitioners. A lot of them know when a client is being discharged, and they can point you to the person at the facility that can help you with that discharge. So those are the types of people that you really want to talk to and focus on and have quality conversations with. If you don't have time to talk to them because you got to go run and pick up another client, you're going to be in a tough spot because you're not taking the time to go where the money's at. $5,000 a month doesn't sound like a lot of money, but it compounds really quickly. Because once you get one facility, you can use that one facility as a reference to provide services with another facility. A lot of staff at hospitals and rehab centers, they move from facility to facility, especially nowadays when you have traveling nurses. So it's really just about talking with the right person, making sure that you're seen as an expert in the service you're providing, not just saying, hey, we can provide medical transportation, but really catering to their needs. And that's what separates my clients from a lot of other individuals. I explain to you exactly what you need to say to a nurse or a doctor or a director that caters to the needs of that facility. So you stick out and you separate yourself from the other transportation providers that are already probably providing services for them or that are competing for services at their facility. And it's not that difficult, but it takes a sell process. A lot of people sell wrong. They think, oh, my price is what people are buying. People buy service. People buy expertise. They don't buy price. The market is wide open. I mean, and when I say it's wide open, it's wide open. A lot of places you can name your price, it doesn't matter. It really comes down to, can you separate yourself from everyone else that's going in there offering their services, and do you catch them at a point where there's a need? If you have a large company providing services at a facility, those are my favorite. Because large companies take individual contracts for granted. So you can actually jump in there and say, hey, look, I'm going to provide this service. I'm going to make sure this person is taken care of, transported properly. And we're going to treat each individual client like they're the only client that we provide services to. You start providing services in that fashion, and you have an opportunity to be very successful in the private pay industry. Now, if you're a dime a dozen transportation provider with Medicaid, you're going to get what you get with a dime a dozen Medicaid transportation providers. You're going to get bottom of the barrel rates. And like I said in a previous video, they coming for that Medicaid, man. Them boys on Capitol Hill coming for that Medicaid. They've been coming for Medicaid for years, but they're really coming for it. You talking about fraud, waste, and abuse. There's quite a bit of fraud, waste, and abuse in the Medicaid industry. It's always doctors going down, hospitals going down, facilities going down for overbilling millions, if not billions of dollars in Medicaid bucks. So the natural progression is going to be, especially when you have a business owner like Elon Musk, he's all about efficiency, leaning it out, cutting the fat. Look what he did with Twitter. The same thing he did with Twitter, which actually is what makes him appealing to the Republican Party. And I'm not getting into politics. I'm just saying expertise. It's not that they want to get rid of the money. They want to know where the money is so they can steal it. Democrats are more social services driven. They push more social services. So as a result, they're fat with the price and the cost of things. What you have to do is say, okay, social services should be fat. Healthcare should be able to accommodate any need a United States citizen, tax-paying citizen has. But the Republicans want to take that same money. They don't want to get rid of it. Just redirect it to private pay's pockets and profit. And that's where you actually step in. Even with a private pay facility, a rehab center, a doctor's office, and separate yourself. Not only are you going to be efficient, you're going to provide a quality service for a great rate. They don't really care about the price. They have it in their budget. They're paying ambulances to do stretcher trips for them. Hell, they'll pay an ambulance service to do a wheelchair trip, just make it a stretcher because they can't find a wheelchair provider. So why not just pay you to do both at a better rate? Ambulance trip, talking about $600-700. You could do the same trip for half that cost without the fluff. So now they're getting 2 trips a day for the price of 1. That's a no-brainer. I actually sold you and gave you part of my pitch. And I do that at any facility that I work with. So it's not as difficult as you think. If your focus isn't on private pay clients, take one day out of the week. Like I said, I suggest Thursdays. And just focus on outreach to hospitals and rehab centers. Go to the hospital and just hang out. Talk to people. Get out of your comfort zone. Hopefully this has been helpful.